Hi, this is Michelle with The Happy Life, and today I'm here with Mandy Adendorff in her living room, and here's just a piece of her beautiful artwork right here behind us. And just about a month ago, I was just praying, and I felt like the Lord put it on my heart to just meet with Mandy, and so here we are today, and I just had a few questions that God put on my heart to ask her, because she's just been a minister and an artist in my community, and just some amazing things that God's doing through her for the kingdom. So that's why we're here today. And and so Mandy, you're an artist, and so how did it all begin for you? What's a story that maybe you could tell us that would just kind of highlight that?
Okay. Well, actually, my father's an artist as well.
Okay.
And so from the time I was very young, he just encouraged me to draw and create and paint, and that's my story. I just started from when I was really little, and I was always encouraged and always told I was great and my art was wonderful, and I just believed that. And so that's my story, nothing complex.
So how young were you when you first
started? I don't even know, probably before
4.
No, before 4. Before I could do anything else. I mean, we were just such an artistic family, so it was part of the way we expressed ourselves, our language.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. So your father, your mother too? Or?
My mom is definitely creative, yes. Yeah. She does pottery and she plays musical instruments.
Okay.
But my dad was the visual artist.
Okay.
And my grandmother, so it kind of came down the family line. So, yeah.
Wow, very neat, very neat. So do you feel that God was a significant part of any of that, as far as just your artwork and that growing in that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, growing up, I'm Jewish, so I didn't know Jesus. But it's amazing how God works in every life, and He's the one that gives us the gift. So even if a person doesn't know the Lord, they have this amazing gift from God. Whether it's art or whatever it is, and so as they begin to express that gift, it just brings so much satisfaction because they're doing what God created them to do. But then when I was about 15 years old, I met with the Lord. I had an experience with Messiah, and that encounter really changed the direction of my life. And I started to realize that I loved God more than art, because I loved art. And I actually used to fight inside and think, oh my gosh, like I love God, and art's not so exciting anymore. And so compared to Him, and so I actually think it was a wrong turn, in the sense that I started to pull back on my art, because I started to feel like it was frivolous, and like, what could God really do with art? It's just like pictures, and what's that really going to do to help people? So I kind of pulled back on my art, which was such a mistake, because as I grew in the Lord, I started to realize, no, like this is part of what His mandate is on so many of us, is to create art, and to just, worship is something that seems so frivolous. It could seem like we're not accomplishing anything, but it's actually the most powerful thing we can do is worship God, even if it feels like nothing's been accomplished in the earth realm. So much is being accomplished in the earth realm, because we're bringing heaven to earth, and we're worshiping the Lord. And so art has become an expression of worship for me. And even if I create, say I create a commission, or I create something that's not necessarily like a vision from God, it's like just fun, and I don't even think this is worship. It is worship. It's like everything that I create is I'm just doing as the Creator poured inside me, and so it's all worship. So anyway, so that's to cut a long story short.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So has there ever been a time that you have been creating something, like you said, for a commission, for work, for pay, where you felt like not passionate about it, to a sense where it's not worship, where you feel like it's tedious?
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I've learned through the years to really choose what I allow myself to do. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking commissions, because we need to earn a living, and that's wonderful, and it doesn't always have to feel fabulous. But I've just realized that for myself, there's certain projects I take on, and so I'm very careful to take on commissions, even prophetic commissions and visions and things. I'm very careful, because a lot of times it's not what God has planned me to do with my time, and so there's tons of demands, and so I just have to figure out which ones are going to be the right ones for me.
Sure. Yeah, and just with that whole thing in mind, I guess my second question is to you. The second topic is surrounding family life and just how you work that into your ministry and everything else. How do you balance things out? Like you're saying, you have to just like focus on, all right, what God do you want me to do right now? And so what have you taken over the years? What have you learned from God in that sense as far as the balance?
Wow, that's a great question. You know, I went through a stage as a new believer where I felt like ministry was number one, no matter what. And through the years, I have learned that I don't believe that anymore. I really believe that family is our number one calling, as anyone, as people in the kingdom. And so, you know, I'm a woman in ministry, so it may appear that I'm saying, well, family first because I'm a woman and then ministry afterwards. But actually, I believe it for everyone, for men and for women, that our families are our direct ministry, and they are the people and the inheritance that we get to leave on the earth when we die. More than anything else, we get to leave our children, our spouses, the people in our family. So that's our number one ministry. And then everything else is overflow. And even when you have a very extreme calling on your life, like a powerful, I believe everyone has an extreme calling, by the way, but you know, you may feel an incredible calling. I really do feel that. But I realize that I have to sometimes step back and take care of my family because that's my number one calling, you know. So that is, it involves juggling, and also what it involves is not being afraid of people and not being afraid of trying to appear religious or like always doing the right thing, not being afraid of saying no, just being confident that you are the keeper of your own life, that God has put you as the one that has the keys and the locks, and that your family is his commission, number one commission, and that we are responsible to that. And that's just great. It's just a freedom thing. It's like, yes, God, this is the way it's meant to be, you know. So that's what has been my thing through the years.
And you mentioned the word overflow. And so when I thought about overflow, I was thinking what you've enriched into your family's life is then going to even overflow into the community around you naturally.
Yes, that's right. That's so good.
That was really an amazing connection.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah.
And so finally, with the happy life, we just talk about everything kind of bringing to a balance, wholeness in ourselves, you know, focusing on the God of the Bible and just saying, wow, you know, how can we find happiness in our life? And so for every person that may mean something specific, something a little bit different, depending on what they're doing. But for you, what might that mean to you? You know, living a life of wholeness, a happy life as to the Lord.
Okay, that's a great question. And it could be so broad, but my thing in life, and I feel like my source of happiness has always been really understanding that I'm loved. And it's so great because I really believe that I'm so loved. I really believe I'm so loved by God, and I'm loved by other people, but mainly that I'm so loved by God. And what that does is it makes everything just sweet, you know, because I love life. Like I love everything. I love cooking. I love dressing up. I love my kids. I love art. I mean, I just love life. But on those days where I'm struggling to understand that I'm loved by God, you can give me everything and there's just no satisfaction. So just being able to just rest in his love for me makes life so happy and so sweet. So yeah, that's definitely my thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for reading with me today, Mandy, and just, you know, pouring into everything that God's doing, you know, with the kingdom. And thank you very much.
Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you.
Since the recording of this video, Mandy has come out with this book called God Magnet, and you can find out more information about this book on her website at www.godmagnet.com.